Hello and welcome to this best of 3 series between ScrambledEggSpecial and Attackspeedenjoyer in the Warhammer League 2. Be sure to like and subscribe for more games and let's get into it. Man, Egg bringing out all of the cool factions, the cool kids factions, and which is not freaking Slaanesh, it's Empire, man. We love Empire plays. So for the armies, we actually see Gelt on a steed, which is what? How does he even get a steed? Oh, he's just landed. That is a crazy tech. He only has one steed to fly, right? Or am I crazy? I'm like 90% sure that his steed can fly, and it's like very low costed that he is super cheap. So he's bringing in Final Transmutation, Plague of Rust into the Slaanesh side. He just doesn't believe that he can win with let's say Searing Doom, because he can just get caught from it. Other than that, we just have a front line of great swords, super cool floppy hats, as Turin would say. The state troopers of the Empire just being stalwart, having armor piercing, very good bonus versus infantry. They are there to basically clap some cheeks from the side of Slaanesh. Other than that, we see a bunch of spearmen and just a bunch of combination of combined arms fire with archers and huntsmen. Huntsmen are there with pardon, with loose formation to shoot anything that's big, and archers are there just to pepper stuff with their like big model count and pew pew. Just generally nice pew pew, right? They even have 2 armor piercing. So cool general combined arms push from the side of the Empire. When it comes to the Slaanesh side, we see a classic line of Princes of Perfection, Forsaken, couple of Devoted Marauders, and then for the main line, we have Fiends. We have the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Slaanesh with Lash and Acquiescence. So he wants to be fighting, especially with the lore passive. He wants to engage every single unit into a different unit, pop a Lash, get his plus 12 melee attack onto each of the units, and then just start terminating the source code of the state troopers. So very simple game plan from the side of Slaanesh, as is most of the time. Just go forward, engage everything, and then fight. Actually, yeah, Balthazar, am I crazy? Balthazar just has his flying pony. I have basically never seen him on the ground. Or am I Quicksilver, right? That's the name of his pony. I don't even remember him ever being taken on something like just a normal horse. We see a couple more spearmen. Spearmen, very nice charge reflection. So they're super good against the start of the engagement. I would have potentially had the spearmen be the ones that are more in front here, because they can also eat stuff from like the Riders of the Mighty Serpent, or if there were any type of devotees. And with the charge reflection and charge defense versus large, they can actually eat the charges pretty competently from the opponent. And then you can have the great swords go in and actually do the fighting. But yeah, this is the thing. Like, if you have a front line, you can just move up some of the archers or some of the huntsmen, and they're gonna be a nice screening type unit from getting the horsemen to have free damage onto you, because you have just the perfect combined arms fire push. We also see a summon of some free company. Free company are super good, but it all does depend on like the line of sight. Though this map has a slight angle down, so I assume they will have a pretty good way into just shooting. And now let's actually see the collapse, right? So the collapse, as long as this is a nice lash, but I feel like it's a bit premature. These guys don't have any sort of charge defense, so if they get charged, they're gonna eat the charge properly. So eat the charge fully, not properly. Nice Forsaken going into the side here, right? Oops, wrong thing. Forsaken going into the side here, and he also has a nice flank to the side here as well. So let's see how this goes. Again, as long as one huntsman starts shooting into the Riders of the Mighty Serpent, this is going to go totally fine. And we see a full-on pew-pew shooting gallery into the Fiends, actually getting them to go back and rethink their lives. Just sending a state trooper spearman into stuff like Forsaken is a great idea if you're wanting to stop the push when you're combined arms like this. because they're going to take some time to go through the spearmen, and you still have a bunch of shooting that can potentially win you the rest of the lines here. So this is a very nice, super good play from Egg's side, similar to what we saw in his game with what was it, Azek, when he played against Slaanesh the other time. Like, he just has his little actual infantry pieces that are doing most of the damage perfectly protected, right? With the two greatsword and spearmen, he's now only going to be compromised by the Furies. And on this side, very nice full flank by the Free Company militia, actually having the spearmen win the fight against the Forsaken. Slaanesh Furies going into the archers, which is nice. But again, we still have, look at how many arrows are just being shot at them. So they're gonna rally at some point and then totally be fine. We also see some Reiksguard, perfect timing. So these spearmen held for as long as they could, and then you see Reiksguard knights just charging into the Forsaken and actually being nice there. Cute lash there. It's just to proc the passive and try to fight this, but it ends up being a decisive victory and surround from the side of the Floppy Hat Boys and the side of the Empire. Though we do see the Pleasure Guard coming in, but an overcasted final transmutation. Even if Balthazar dies, it is totally fine, right? Because he did an overcasted transmutation into the Lord and to the Pleasure Guard. As long as these guys don't have like one-on-one fights against the entire army, they're going to be peppered by stuff like Huntsmen, by some Free Company militia, just doing a few shots, and Balthazar Gelt actually ends up running away. No, Pleasure Seekers, get him, get him. If he summons in one knight, yeah, Reiksguard summon to start with the mass defense of Balthazar, because Empire has relatively low leadership, so if the Lord dies, they can be in a bit of trouble. But this is such a huge difference in value at this point that I don't think even if they die, that the side of Slaanesh can properly fight it. Slangors, super good unit into everything that is on the roster of Empire. They can eat through stuff like Spearmen for breakfast, and the Devoted Marauders just have a lot of time. And Balthazar Gelt rallies. Even though the Pleasure Guard will have a totally fine time into these Reiksguards because of Strider and everything. Yeah, he just pops in a Plague of Rust. He doesn't want to overcast because he doesn't want to kill himself. But just an undercasted is just going to help the Reiksguard so much because they don't have the armor piercing to actually support it. And Free Company, man. Just the standard Empire line troopers beating the hordes of Slaanesh, and even though it's a full-on triple cap for the side of attack speed, he taps out because he knows he's so far behind against Egg in this matchup. Man, what a great representation from the Empire. The Empire does indeed endure, especially into the hordes of Slaanesh, and also just another masterclass in how to properly play a box, how to properly layer a box, how to properly play a box, and how to properly defend a box. And then he just was so far ahead that he could have just slow pushed out, and at that point won the game on the actual objectives. Amazing stuff from Scrambled Egg. Let's look at some value. So he probably got on Balthazar the entire 900 value just with that 100 or one overcasted final transmutation in the end into the Lord plus the Pleasure Seekers, right? That is probably the entire thing. State Troopers just standing there, eating it, dying for the cause, and they indeed did die for the proper cause because the Empire did endure after this game. Greatswords, just doing relatively good. They are up trading into basically all of the Slaanesh mainline forces, which is like the Forsaken and stuff, right? And then, oh my god, look at the beautiful value on all of these archers, man. 400, 700, 900, or 700, 700, 400, 400. Beautiful. Same thing from the Huntsman, just shooting into stuff like the Fiends, the Pleasure Seekers, the Lord, the just generalized infantry units. Wow, what a great game. Also see the Free Company Militia with their little pew-pews and top hats just going in. Very nice. And then the Reichsguard are your defensive unit that is going to sweep your backline and keep out stuff like the Marauders from getting in too deep, right? So amazing stuff. Very, very nice to see the Empire enduring against especially such a strong faction like Slaanesh. Slaanesh, everything downtraded just because they weren't properly supported. He had the right idea when going in with the Lord to just then do the lash and then just have everything win, but it just wasn't enough. He was going way too wide and did not properly flank break. Pleasure Guard are probably the best unit here. They can assist you in doing the break, and I feel like he just went in a little too early, right? If he had the 3 Seekers out, or like 3 Furies, 1 Seeker, and Pleasure Guard out potentially, then he has a much easier time compromising all of these archers and huntsmen that ended up being the main carry pieces for Egg's side. But very cool to see. Great games from both Scrambled and Attack Speed. 2-0 to Scrambled, and let's see what else is cooking in round 2 for our tourney.